I'm John Brannigan on the Solutions Architecture team here at Mapbox, and I want to thank you all for joining us today to hear more about how Zerion improves user workflows with maps. With me, we have Ben Ray, product manager at Zerion Software, who will talk about how Zerion integrates Mapbox technology into iForm Builder, their enterprise data collection software. Before we get started, just a few housekeeping notes. The webinar console you see is completely customizable, so you can move or resize windows, drag the corners, make slides a little bigger, whatever you want. Also, this webinar is being recorded, so you'll get an email tomorrow around this time with the link, and then you can watch or share the recording. And lastly, we want to hear from you. So if you have questions for Ben, anytime through the presentation, you can ask it using the Q&A window, and we'll cover the questions at the end. So here is the agenda for today. I'll start off with a brief introduction of the Mapbox platform, and then let Ben go with introduction to the iForm Builder platform, discussion of how Mapbox was a good fit, the importance of mapping in field service operations, followed by a demo, and then a live QA. Okay, so what is Mapbox? Mapbox is a location data platform for mobile and web applications. So our products are building blocks that add location-based features such as maps, search, and navigation into mobile and web applications. Mapbox enables 1.6 million developers globally, reaching more than 600 million monthly active users. So every day, these devices, the user devices, generate 71 billion total miles of anonymous aggregated sensor readings. And we use that to deliver precise traffic data and live up-to-date maps. Mapbox is changing the way people move around the world and experience daily life. These are just a few of the apps powered by Mapbox, including Snap, Lonely Planet, Tableau, Red Bull, the Weather Channel, and Hotels.com. So I'm happy to introduce Ben Ray of Zerion Software, who will speak about how Zerion integrates location into their applications.
Thanks a lot, John, for the introduction. We've been following Mapbox over the years. It's really been great to see kind of how they've improved and where they're at now. So just to start out, I want to just do a quick introduction. My name's Ben Ray. I work at Zerion Software, creators of iForm Builder. You may have heard of it known as that. I've worked in a variety of different departments in the company here, ranging from customer success, a little sales, and kind of found my way in the product space. And I've really been able to see how Mapbox has changed the way things work, but then even just maps inside of our application. So we have a variety of customers who use maps all the time. So we actually went from simple form building to really optimizing mobile business workflows. Now, when I mean simple form building, I mean you go online and you basically build out your customized form and dispatch that out to the device. Back in 2010, with the introduction of the iPhone, we've actually first released our application, and it really started to take off from there. Now we are on the Google Play Store, we're on the App Store on iOS, and we also online on the web. We have a web forms platform as well. So I wanted to move over into our technology breakdown here. You're going to see we have 4 core pieces of our Zerion software product. First and foremost is iForm Builder. This allows you to create customized forms on the web, dispatch them out to your mobile devices, and then submit that data to the cloud for further processing. We also have a documents platform that allows you to output customized documents. So these may be PDF documents, Excel files, and the big key there is that this outputs customized, let's say, OSHA documents that you may have. There's a specific format that OSHA requires these documents to be in, and you can meet that. So a variety of folks' clients have custom outputs that they want to put things on. So we have a documents platform for that. We also have a reporting platform. So when the data is submitted from your iPhone into the cloud, we can then report on that information, such as setting up custom graphs and dashboards and things like that. And really what holds all this together is our data flow product. If you're familiar with other tools that do different types of ETL and stuff, you can compare it to that. What actually happens is when data is submitted into it from iPhone Builder or any other systems, we can then process, transform, and refine that data and either write it to reports, systems, to SQL servers, to a variety of other places. So that's really been able to let us customize these very complex workflows. And something that is kind of unique across all of these is it runs JavaScript over top of all of them. So what that means is when your folks are out in the field, you can have a customized form that, if this happens, do this, and break down lists to be more customized. When you're transforming and processing the data in data flow, you can also run reports and things on top of that. And then even on the back end, when it goes into documents and reporting platforms, you can also process and refine that information. So again, what this really does for folks is it allows them to have pretty customized workflows, and we work with a variety of groups who do that. I'll get to that here in just a minute. One of the big things that we really believe sets us apart is we have available with all of our plans is our full service model. And what that means is that we have our customer success team sit down with your team once you start working with us, and we'll go over what your business workflow looks like, some current problems and challenges you have, and then figure out how can we assist to digitally transform this in this day and age. So we'll go ahead and we will build all your forms. In the past, this is or sometimes is a burden for folks because they have to train someone and get them up to speed. We include that with all of our plans. So again, building your reports, building your workflows, and building your customized outputs. What I'm going to show here in the demo later is just one of those that we have customized. So here's a quick snapshot of some of our customers here. As you can see, we work with a variety of customers in all different groups. There's not really a niche market that we really appeal to here. But if you look at at the top left there, we have Yum brands. So you may not have heard of Yum, but if you've heard of KFC, Taco Bell, or Pizza Hut, we work with them day in and day out doing things such as fryer inspections all around the U.S. So they go out with their mobile devices, inspect their fryers to make sure they're compliant and they're safe and they're providing good quality, not overcooked, not undercooked products. In the bottom right there, you see Cicada Seeds. They're one of the large research and field trial producers of different types of seeds, and they do trials all the time. It's really amazing to see this information come through of looking at different cauliflower and broccoli and seeing how they're analyzing this day after day. And then we do have a big presence in the NGO space. So groups like World Vision there you see at the bottom, they're doing different beneficiary registrations and a variety of surveys. Again, they're working in other countries and where the internet may not be as beneficial, and our product works offline and works great for them as well. So there's just a small snapshot, and it's really amazing to see what they're able to do with the product. So next, I just want to move into talking a little bit about why we went with Mapbox, how our process went, because I know there is some other developers on the call as well, and folks who may want to be implementing Mapbox. So I'll just share kind of our path to working with them. So typically in every product we build or every feature or functionality we build, we kind of start with the problem statement. And this one or a few customers had some problems. They had a list of tasks that had to be completed all around the U.S. Big challenge was kind of figuring out where these tasks were and trying to see, can we get these done in the right amount of time? How do we, send them to people who are going to be in the same area? All these challenges really, kept stemming around location information. So that was definitely one big thing. They wanted to get these things done. So, we kind of call that they needed a way to intelligently dispatch these jobs out, and location being a huge part of that. So that was one big issue. And then another challenge was folks were really looking for basic map analysis. So some of the questions they kind of had were, what jobs are currently done in what areas, right? Is this area need to pick up? Do we need to send more resources out to this area to complete these tasks? And that's something, we quite frankly didn't have. They had to go to other providers to provide that. And of course, we would like to provide more of those features and functionalities. So, those were the two core problems that we wanted to look at, and that's what we set out to solve. So we started looking at a couple different providers on this, and ultimately we landed on Mapbox. There's three core reasons we landed on Mapbox. First and foremost was that it was generally available on all of our platform that we need, right? Which was on the mobile side, that means iOS and Android, and on our website where folks can fill out forms on the web and analyze data on the web. So it certainly ticked that box. And then another one was we have future development plans around three core things: offline maps, layers, and route planning. There's a few others sprinkled in there. And we wanted to make sure whatever we pick is not good for just now, but good for in the future. So they definitely tick that box as well. Seeing they've obviously had offline and layers for some time, and I think within the last year they just added a route planning feature, which we're really looking forward to take advantage of in the future. And then the last thing that you wouldn't really see it at face value, but was their outstanding customer support. As we were developing this, most of our developers haven't worked too much with map centric workflows at all. So this was definitely a learning curve for us. We hit challenges with map clustering and some of the SDKs. And when we had a challenge, we just reached out to Mapbox. They had a solutions engineer hop on and show us how to set this up. And that was really helpful. We were working with some of their other APIs as well that we wanted to we need some help on. So they were able to provide that. So big kudos to Mapbox on really helping us out. That's something that definitely sealed the deal for us. And look forward to see where you take things next. So I wanted to just talk before I hop into the demo about why mapping is important specifically to us. We're in the field service industry, and at the micro level, field service is all about the geolocation. You need to get to your job site to complete whatever task you're working on. It may be work orders, inspections, surveys, audits, you name it. So really we want to make sure the users can get to their sites. And then at the macro level, it's all about seeing progress and things over time. So again, since it's about location, we need to see is work getting done in these places? Again, do we have to send more resources, as I talked about earlier there? So that was certainly helpful to us there. And then one of the big things is that folks can get more work done, and you're going to get to see that here and how it went from before where it was it took some time for folks to dispatch these jobs out, and now they can get more work done in a shorter amount of time. So again, implementing this was really, really important to us. So now we're going to hop into the demo here. I'm going to turn on my screen sharing, so just bear with me for a second while we get this showing. And let me know when folks can see this, and I'll get started.
There we go.
Okay.
Looks good.
Perfect. So on the left-hand side here, you see we have our platform, our web-based platform. On the right-hand side is our device. The scenario we're going to be looking at today is a vehicle repair company who has a list of work orders that they upload. So on the left-hand side, they have 82 work orders uploaded with all these details you'll see here. And they need to complete these work orders in a timely fashion. So these are all different vehicle repairs. I'm going to switch over to our map view here, and you're going to see the map here with a list of work orders that are currently assigned or unassigned. And then the right-hand side, again, is the field workers on the device. So there may be many, many field workers out there, and we need to get these vehicle repairs out to them. So I'm going to zoom in here just to the New York region, and I'm going to see there's two repairs very, very close to each other. So what we're going to do here is we're just going to circle around these. And when we circle around these, we're going to use the polygon tool here. So this is one of the things that Mapbox support helped us with implementing, and it was hugely instrumental in this process. And if we scroll down after we've selected those, we're going to see the details about these two work orders. So we have the location of it, when these are created, a title, some descriptions, and when it's due. So we need to fix a BMW and a Volkswagen today. So I'm going to go select those two items there, and then we can choose for users in here, but we're going to assign it to the user J Miller. Now, when I click assign here, it's going to send that notification over to my mobile device here on the right-hand side. So you'll see I just got 2 records that were sent to me. And I'm going to sync and I'm going to download these 2 entries. Once it downloads those, before I go on, I'm just going to hop back over here to our website. So we can see that those 2 records are assigned to Jay Miller, and I just circled right around those. And if we scroll over to some others, we're going to see, based on the legend, that these are assigned to different folks. So again, at the macro level, you can see what records are assigned to what individuals. So now we'll hop over back to our device. So I received the record, and I'm going to open up my form here called iPhone Builder Work Order. And we're going to flip over to our map view in the bottom right. And obviously, I'm not right by these. So at this point, we're going to have to get in our car, and we're going to have to drive over to this work site. So we'll drive all the way up here into downtown New York. And we're going to see we have two vehicle repairs to complete. So I'm just going to select one of those. And once I select one, it's going to open up our form. So right here's the core of our iPhone Builder application on the mobile app. And you can see details such as when the work order was created, the title of it, the description of what we need to do, and when the work order is due. And then you're going to see a little section down here called Enter Work Performed. I'm going to open this up, and this is where I'm going to complete the bulk of what I'm working on today. So first, I'm going to open up our location element, and I'm going to confirm my location. We want to make sure that you are working in a relative vicinity of where the vehicle was repaired. We don't want to be working from your home when you should be out in Manhattan there. We're going to select a couple materials that we've used. So I used a wrench, a socket, and a jack there. And then we're going to go in and we're going to type in what we did on this vehicle. So I'm just going to put in some specific comments. Folks can type it in here. You can visually just speak into there and type down all the things that you've done with this vehicle. So we'll say we repaired the drive line. The car is now functioning. And then we're going to hop into our drawing element here and take a photo of the work we did. I don't have that BMW or that Volkswagen near me, so I'll take a picture of a nice Z28 Camaro there for all you American muscle lovers. And with our drawing element, we can draw over the stuff that we worked on. So I'll circle the engine there, and then circle maybe underneath the driveline area. So you can annotate on top of images there to ensure that you're pointing out the relevant pieces of information. We're going to choose how many hours we worked for billing purposes, and then finally sign off on this form. So again, this can fully be customized to your custom workflow. This was customized for this workflow itself. So once I hit done, we're going to see the number of hours worked. We worked 4 total hours on this. And then down at the bottom, you'll see a field called work completed. So if your work's still in progress, you could actually go ahead and assign this work order out to someone else. Maybe you need a more specific person to work on this. So I could assign it out to a different person who specializes more in those American muscle cars. In this case, the work order is completed. I fixed it, so we're just going to hit yes. And it's going to email this work order out to someone. This can be customized as well. I'm just emailing it to myself for demo purposes. Now, once you get back to a connected environment, you can sync up this record like I did, and I still have one more left to work on. Now, going back to the map, again, I want to show that we can actually set up customized filters here. So this is going to the macro level here, but you want to see, work completed is yes, meaning I want to see any job that on this map that I have completed. So I just did that filter, and I see I've completed 3 different jobs here. One is assigned to field user 1, one was assigned to myself, and one is unassigned. Now we can change this. Maybe you want to see everything that has not been completed. Again, very simple filter, but something we didn't have before. Now you can see, here's all the work that has not been completed. We know we need to send some folks up to the Canada region and into the Kentucky and Carolinas to complete those other items. So what actually happens once it's submitted is you can get an email report of this. Again, this can be customized as well. I just put our logo up there for now. You can see all the details about the work order, description, and then the details that I completed there and 4 total hours worked. So again, this is helpful in sending out notifications to folks based upon work completion. So again, I mean, this was the main thing I wanted to show here today, but just to recap, we circled a set of points in an area, and then we dispatch those out to a field user. There may be one to many field users there, but once you dispatch that information out, they get it on their device and can complete it. So you can see how a large, distributed set of individuals could be assigned different work at different times in different regions, and you can complete things. So this was really, really instrumental in helping our customers be able to complete these tasks all over the U.S. So John, are there any questions as we wrap up this part of the demo?
Yeah, there's maybe one. Someone's asking if GPS units can be used to collect high accuracy field data.
Yeah, absolutely. So on your mobile device, as long as the GPS unit can connect via Bluetooth or some other mechanism to the mobile device, it actually overrides the onboard GPS, so it can feed data from there. We have a couple different GPS units I can share after the call that folks have used in the past to connect. But yeah, it depends on how high of accuracy you have to look at those specific devices. But the answer is yes there.
Yeah, that's everything for the live demo section.
Okay, perfect. All right, so next I just wanted to move into what is next for on our roadmap here. So there's three specific things I wanted to talk about here. First and foremost is web-based forms. For the longest time, folks have used the mobile devices, whether that be Android or iOS devices. And there's been a need for folks who are in the office to start utilizing these forms. It doesn't really make sense for folks to use their mobile device if they're in the office. They need to take full advantage of the screen. So we've developed a web forms application that you can fill out the same forms that I just showed you also on your web. In the workflow I showed, it probably wouldn't make sense because you're in a truck, you're driving out, fixing these vehicles. But depending on your workflow, it makes sense for a lot of folks. There's been two core needs that folks have utilized this for. First was the need for office folks to initiate a workflow. So maybe from the back end, you fill out a form and you want to send that form out to a mobile device. That's one way folks have used it. Another one has been for data reviewing purposes. So as this data is submitted, such as all these vehicle inspections or vehicle repairs, you may want to have someone go review them. And looking at it not on their phone, but on the web forms is probably a better use case there. Two pieces on the mapping end that we're really looking into are the ability to add your own custom layers into here. So maybe that's not just on the web side that I showed there, but maybe that's also on the mobile side of things. So you want to put in your own custom layers to overlay population density or a set of work orders that you have with that. So that's something that we're looking at incorporating into our application. A variety of our customers have their own layers they want to bring to. And then something we're really excited about that goes hand in hand with the demo I just showed is route optimization. So really what this is, I believe Mapbox released this about a year ago, but we had 2 or 3 different points on our mobile map. Now this helps from the office side, sending those four points out to an individual. But when that person then in the field has to figure out how do I get to these 3 or 4 locations? What's the fastest way based on where I'm at now? That's something that we do not have an answer for, but Mapbox does with their new route optimization features. So that's something we definitely want to incorporate next and let people plan the most optimal route. We really believe this can save driving time and give you more hours to work on the work that matters. So if you liked what you saw here today or want to chat some more, you can certainly email us at sales@Zerion Software or visit ZerionSoftware.com to start a free trial. Like I said, we work with a lot of different groups doing a lot of different customized workflows. And we'd love to see what problems we can solve for you today, specifically with maps as well. So we wanted to hop into next a short Q&A session if there's any specific questions, and we'll go from there.
Yeah, thank you, Ben. Great presentation. It looks like a really solid product. So we do have a few questions that came up, and folks attending, if anything else comes to mind, feel free to pop another question in. So I have a question from Eric. Actually, I'm going to switch to a question from Timothy first. Does the mobile application work offline?
Great question. Great question. Yes, absolutely. So from the start, like I said, we started back in 2010. From the start, we built it to work offline. Even though in today's day and age, there's a lot of, a lot better connectivity everywhere. We built it to work offline. So what you do is when you download the forms, you have to download them all in an online connected environment. And then once they are downloaded, you can go ahead and collect as much data as you want on the device. And then you get back to a connected environment and submit that information. So yes, absolutely. And as long as your device has cellular, we also get that location information. Or as long as it has a GPS chip in it, we get that location information captured with every record too. So good question.
I also have a question from Frederick. And he is asking, how did you set up the work order locations prior to assignments?
Yeah, absolutely. So how I did that actually was, let me just go back to my screen sharing here. I think this will make a little more sense. So what I did was, since we uploaded it into the system here, I actually uploaded it into one of our location elements. So if you can see my screen here, maybe I can zoom in a little bit. We uploaded it into our location element here. So since I had that latitude and longitude, I simply uploaded it, and then I can plot it on the map based upon this latitude and longitude in this field here. And then once you do that, then you can assign them out to the device from there. But yes, this was just through a simple CSV upload.
Cool. We have a question from David. Can you define your locations as lines and or polygons?
So right now we just support points. We have done we did do a webinar where one of our other individuals, Or Dashevsky, we'll point that link over to you then afterwards, does show how we are able to work with lines and make a line GeoJSON file, I believe. But right now, yes, we do just support points out of the box. It does take a little more work if you want to work with lines or polygons as well. But love to hear the use case and see, and that's something we definitely would like to improve and add to the product.
Great. A question from Zifeng Li. Does the on-site technician use the tool as well, or just the manager in the office?
Yeah, so what I was showing was, the manager in the office also uses it, but then we send it out to the mobile device. So on the right side of my screen earlier, I showed the mobile device there. So yes, it is both. There is a collaboration there in the workflow that I showed.
Great. And then we do have a question from Eric. Do you have any integration with Maximo WOM, work order management?
No, we do not. But how you would do this, I didn't mention this earlier, is that we do have a pretty robust API where you can basically integrate our software bidirectionally with any of these other softwares. So we know folks have worked with Maximo in the past, I believe. If it runs on top of SQL Server, we have a direct link to SQL Server. So we can get that data into SQL Server. We can use it through there, or utilizing, if Maximo Work Order Management has an API, we can write code, or you can write code to integrate with it.
Cool. Another question: what kind of file format is needed to upload your own layers?
So right now we do not allow uploading of our own layers. So that's something we are thinking, and we'd love to hear from you what types of files you'd like us to support for layers specifically. So I know there's a lot of different shape files, GeoJSON, or even just uploading CSV to make a layer. That's effectively kind of what I did here, at least to make a database. So yeah, we don't support that yet, but that's something we'd love to hear what types of file formats you have, and that's what we want to integrate with.
Great. I have a question. This again from Eric. How long did it take to develop the application? And maybe this is more the Mapbox integration than the general application, or maybe you'd want to answer both parts. I'm not sure.
Yeah. So, I mean, I guess my answer to that would be a couple months at least. I mean, we weren't working on it 100% all the time in there. We had a small team work on this. So, probably from start to finish, I think 6 months or so. And, throughout that, it was very, agile. We were working with the customers who we build it for and seeing, what did we miss something here? Do we need to add more things here? So, sometime there now, depending on what we do, it could be, faster or longer. But yeah, I think about 6 months is what it took.
Great. Great. I guess one more question from Darius. For sorting the table, is there a master checkbox to select or deselect all elements?
Yes, there is. If you're talking about sorting the map, you're able to do that. At the top, we did have a checkbox. I know I went through it pretty quickly, but I did check the select all there. So then that that's selected every record. You're saying select all elements. And maybe I'll have to get some more insight into that, and we can chat after. I'll reach out to you, Darius, on that specific question.
Sounds good. And then there's one last question. Another one just popped in, but there's a question from Jim. And this may be specific to iForm Builder. How are the number of map views counted? If not, that may be a...
Yeah, no, great question. So no, the number of map views are counted, using how Mapbox counts views. Now that is, something that they are removing here coming up in November. So we are going to be switching to map loads, which, should be a much easier metric to track and things there. So, for more information, that is on Mapbox's website there. I think they have some pretty good tools on how to see how many map views versus map loads you are utilizing.
Great. Another question from Frederick. I'm currently using iForm Builder and have not seen a CSV upload option. Is this a feature that's not accessible within a general iForm Builder account?
No, good question. So yes, it absolutely is available in all of our accounts here. So I am turning on my screen sharing again here, so it may take just a second. But when you're inside of our data table, so here's the data table of the 82 work orders that we have. There is an option to upload CSV right here, and basically you just match the column names and you upload that information into there. So that'll be right up here in your data views. It is only accessible to administrators, so maybe if you are a basic user and may not have access, that could be why you're not seeing it.
Great. We have another question. Is there a timeline when offline maps and layers will be up and running?
So for both of those, I cannot give you a timeline on there. We operate pretty much in 1 month sprints. So when stuff is available, it is available. We are doing different advisory group sessions and things like that that help drive our product. So I'd encourage you to participate in those. Push on our community there. We take take features from our community and the number of support they have and build off that. So as those things become more of a priority, we'll definitely let folks know on that.
Great. So that's all the questions we had for today. Once again, thank you everyone for joining us, and hope you have a great day.
All right, thanks everyone.